Just before we start this video, if you haven't already, go down below and hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot and it only takes 2 seconds out of your day. Let's try to reach my goal with 200 subs by the end of 2020. With that said, let's get into the video. And everybody, my name is Melon and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be ranking every single Treyarch zombie spawn room from worst to best. I'm only going to be ranking it on how easy it is to survive in, but I am going to put my opinion in there as well. Just before we do start the video, I need to go over a couple of things. Firstly, for BO3 and BO4, gobblegums and elixirs will be removed. Also in BO4, I'm going to set it to 150 health and I'm going to remove different spawn weapons in. Also for town, farm, buster poke, and classified and the giant, they're not going to be included for various reasons. If you really want to know, go look in the comment section below. I've listed most of the rules and how I've ranked it in there. With that said, there's 27 maps, so let's get ranking. Firstly, it's unfortunate to say, but we do have Buried. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Buried, it's a really good map, but the spawn is rarely used and most players will go straight into the map as soon as they spawn in. There's not much training space and you only have an M14 and an Olympia that pretty much drop off damage quite early. You can see the LSAT and it's quite tempting to get, but if you are doing the spawn room challenge, I do advise you not to get it because you do go into the map, and that's pretty much it. There's no quick revive, there's nothing. It's just, for me, I find it one of the hardest spawn rooms. Next up, we have Shangrila. Now, Shangrila is pretty similar to Buried, but which makes this a little bit easier is the fact that you do have the perks from the monkeys and you can buy quick revive. The monkeys give you a very big advantage onto this map because you can get different perks, but you do have to be very lucky and you have to know what times to get it. The weapons contain M14 and the Olympia, the same as the Buried ones, but you do have to be careful because the Black Ops 1 zombies are a little bit more powerful and a little bit more buggy, so you definitely have to be more careful with that. Next up, we have Shadows of Evil. Now, it's very hard, and if you've seen my first ever video, you'll see how hard it really is and how tight the map is. Everything's sort of fine, and you'll be doing okay till you're about round 8, and then the Marga comes in, and due to the lack of space and stuff like that, you are just going to get one shot. And what I found out when I was playing this spawn room challenge quite often is that he just one-shots you no matter what, and you have to have absolutely insane luck and very good training skills to kill this guy. And to be honest, this spawn room isn't very used anyway. Next, we have Verrucht. Now, with Verrucht, there's 2 different rooms, so I'm going to go over them both and tell you the better one. Firstly, we have the Quick Revive room. It's pretty small space with only a Car 98k and a Gewehr, so you're pretty much not going to be working with a lot. On the upside, though, you do have Quick Revive, and that's going to give you 3 health and give you a better chance at surviving. Next, we do have the Juggernaut spawn. You have the same weapons, but you have a little bit more space, and you do have grenades. I mean, if you want to risk it with the grenades, you can, but I don't really recommend it. Personally, I think the Quick Revive room is a little bit better, just because you have the 3 extra lives. At the number 22 spot, we have Gore and Toten. This spawn is a little bit more spacious than the others, but you still don't have anything to work with. You only have a Car 98k and an M2 carbine, and you don't even have any perks. But the one reason this is a little bit higher up is because you have so much spawn room space, but you do have to be a little bit careful, and you do need to be experienced when you're training in the higher rounds. Next up, we have Moon. Now, this was going to be a very bad spawn room for me. I was probably going to put this at like the last place, being one of the worst, but I think after some consideration, I realized you can get Mustang and Sally's if you're very lucky in area 51. You also can get Jug or Speed Cola, one of the 2. I mean, that's going to be quite hard to rank because there's a 50-50 chance of which one you're going to get, but considering if you do get Jug, that's pretty overpowered. The unfortunate thing is when you do go to the moon, there's no spawn weapons, so you are going to have to conserve ammo and use your knife, but I think once you do have Jug and you do have your Quick Revive as well, that's pretty easy. I mean, when I tried it, I got to about round 10 just knifing zombies. Next, we have 5. Now, personally, I absolutely love 5 as a map, but I mean, the spawn is pretty bad. It's very annoying. You only have an Olympia and M14 to kill with. Obviously, as I've gone over with most of the spawns, these drop off quite early. You got the lanes, or like the desks in the spawn, and I mean, they're really fucking annoying. You can barely train. The map is very tight. You do have Quick Revive, which is obviously a big bonus, and it makes your life a little bit easier. But other than that, this spawn is pretty tight and annoying. Next, we have Mob of the Dead. Now, with Mob of the Dead, it's just one long cell block, which is a little bit of room at the end, which will be the library. Nothing is really much in this spawn. You have an M14 and an Olympia, and instead of Quick Revive, obviously, you have the Afterlife, which is better than Quick Revive. Not as good as Beast Mode, because Beast Mode, when you're in Beast Mode, you can actually kill zombies. Afterlife will just shock them and teleport them, and they will still be alive. Other than that, when Brutus comes in, you're pretty much going to be fucked. I mean, he's going to kill you pretty quickly due to the lack of space. If you do manage to kill him, other than that, you're pretty much sorted until another Brutus comes in. And that's the only really downfall to this part, apart from the space. Next, we have Blood of the Dead, obviously the best Call of Duty Zombies map of all time. Oh, fuck's sake. Alright, anyway. Fuck me, I can't believe I just said that, but anyway, Blood of the Dead. Unlike the Mob of the Dead spawn, it's a little bit more spacious. The downside to this spawn is the weapons, as you have the Essex model, which is completely useless. You might as well just keep your spawn pistol. And you have the RK7 Garrison, which is a little bit better. Obviously not as good as the RK5 from BO3, but I mean, you can survive with it as well. You have 2 quick revives without buying the machine as well, but that doesn't really matter because you're not spending your points on anything to do with anyway, because it's a spawn room, so not really even an upside. Other than that, you have the Brutuses. I mean, when they spawn in, you're pretty much going to die anyway, and that's Blood of the Dead, I guess. Next, we have Die Rise. Die Rise has got a lot of space in it. You have an Olympia, and you don't have the M14 this time, which is a bit unfortunate. And you do have zombies that have a little bit more health. They have like body jacket, but it's not the end of the world. The one problem is the jumping jacks, but if you are quick and you are aware of your surroundings, you can get a free perk and a max ammo. Next off, we have Alpha Omega. Now, there's nothing really much to say about Alpha Omega, apart from the fact that there is a Strife Bullseye, very overpowered gun. It gets you to a pretty decent round. Also, there is a little training area that I actually managed to use at the top end of the spawn. It's actually very useful. It looks quite tight, but when I used it, I got to around about 15 just with the Strife in that spawn area. It's pretty good. Mind the bottom half, it's very tight. And other than that, that's pretty much Alpha Omega. There's nothing really much to it. Next up, we have Zetsubo no Shima. Now, I'm actually quite surprised this is quite low on the list, as in being worse, but, you know, it is what it is. There's just better maps. So there's no quick revive on this. You do have the plant though, which can give you other weapons, such as the Locust, and I think can give you XM53, which can be quite useful if you're training. You have the Shiva and the RK5. Your boss zombie is the Thrasher. He will come every now and then, depending on spawns. I don't think there's too many spawns, if not any, in the spawn room, so you should be fine with that. Do have spiders with the spider rounds. That will just give you a max ammo, so that's actually just a big benefit. And you do have a little swimming area at the bottom of the spawn, and I recommend not to go in there. At the number 14 spot, we have Dead of the Night. Now, it's a lot like Verrucht with 2 different spawns, so I'm going to go over them both. Firstly, we have the Strife spawn, as I like to call it. The only wall weapon you have is the Strife. Obviously, the Strife is a very powerful weapon. There's little camping space, and there's pretty much no training space. There's only 2 barriers, so you just have to keep on swapping between them. That's your best way at surviving. The other side of the spawn is the Essex model side. Now, they're pretty much the same, but the one thing is it's the Essex model on the wall instead of the Strife. Now, personally, I prefer the Strife spawn room. Maybe you do prefer the Essex model. I don't know why, personally. The Strife's a lot better, and that's why it's the better spawn. Next, we have Call of the Dead. Now, with Call of the Dead, you've got a lot of training space, you have quick revive, and you have the Olympia and the M14. Now, the main point and the main reason this spawn room is as good as it is right now is the fact that George Romero is the boss, and you can kill him, and you can get a perk and a death machine. Now, the perk is going to be a big bonus, but the one downfall to him is the fact that he's going to take for absolutely ages to kill. If you really want to go for it, you can. I tried when I was doing my spawn room run, just figuring out where all these spawns will be, and honestly, I was there for like 20 minutes just putting bullets into him. It was absolutely insane. So I don't recommend it, but that's why it's at this spot. Next off, we have Origins. Now, with Origins, you have the Mauser as your spawn pistol, and you also have the Iron-Sighted Ballista and the M14. M14 is your best bet. The Iron-Sighted Ballista isn't very good. You don't have too much space in the spawn room, but a good thing you do have is the challenge board. If you are very lucky with what challenges you can get double tap and a free pack-a-punched weapon. Also, the downfall to this is you do have the generator. That just gives you an extra step, but you do get quick revive. Next, we have Transon. Now, the only reason this is just a little bit better than Origins is the fact that you don't actually have to turn on a generator. I know that's such a stupid thing to rank this over, but you know, it just does, the little difference does make it a little bit easier. Now, I know you can build a turbine, but I'm going to pretend that it's not there just so you can't open them doors, because I don't count that as the spawn, even though it is free and you don't have to buy it. That's just how I see it. You do have the M14 and the Olympia, obviously, as most spawn rooms do. Same sort of damage, stuff like that, so they are going to drop off quite early. Other than that, you do have quick revive, and you have got pretty decent training space. When I did it, I got to around about 10 without really worry about anything. Next, we have Kino Numa. Now, Kino Numa is a very big spawn room. There's lots of space. You have the Gewehr 43 and an Arasaka, which are pretty bad. The Arasaka is actually a very bad weapon. I mean, the Gewehr is decent. You'll get to a decent round with that. Other than that, there's nothing really much to this spawn room. There's a dog round, which is an easy max ammo, and a skip round. Other than that, that's Numa. Next up, we have Doris. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this so high on the list? It's got no quick revive and not really anything. Well, the main reason this is this high up on the list is the fact that this spawn has got so much space. When I was doing this, I was going to put this a lot lower on the list and make it a lot more worse than it actually was. I managed to get to my, I think about round, I think it was 15, and that's pretty good for a spawn room considering you've got no quick revive. You have the Kar 98K and the Gore, same as most World at War spawns, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing apart from the dogs, and they're just a free max ammo. Next off, we have Revelations. Nothing much to say apart from pretty good space. There is a turret, which I'm going to say you can use. You just can't go into the Kino Der Toten area. You have the Shiva and the RK5 as your weapons, obviously very powerful weapons. And you have the quick revive machine. Other than that, you've got to stay aware of the parasites, panzers, and the markers. At the number 7 spot, we have Gore and Crow. Now, Gore and Crow is actually a very good spawn if I can break it down here quickly. So you have the challenge boards, which can give you a perk, quick revive, and a upgraded gun. Depending on what they are is what you can get. Some of them you physically can't do in the spawn room, but most of them you can. You have the RK5 and the Shiva, which are very overpowered spawn weapons. They're in every BO3 map, so yeah. You have quick revive as well, obviously very good, and you have lots of open space in this spawn room, which is very nice and good for training. Other than that, you have the drones. They're quite annoying to kill, and you have the Russian Mangulas, which are pretty easy to kill, and just if anything, just a waste of your ammo, but it doesn't really matter because you're in a spawn room. Next up, we have the Eisendrache. Now, there's nothing really much to it, apart from there's a lot of space. You have the Shiva, the RK5, and you do have the fuse, the tram fuses, which are pretty good, because you can get anything. I know there is some sort of Easter egg, you can get the ray gun. I'm gonna pretend that's not a thing, just because I don't know how you can get it, and I don't think anybody actually really knows how to get it. It's just sort of luck, sort of. But you can, get all nukes, double points, stuff like that, so that's very good as well. And you do have quick revive, which is a big bonus. The one bad thing is that you do have dogs and Panzer. Dogs, not too bad. Panzer, he might fuck you up every now and then. Next, we have Kino Der Toten. There's nothing much to this, other than there's lots of space. You have an Olympia and an M14. You do have quick revive, and the dogs are on this, which just give you a free max ammo. Obviously, if you've played this map before, you do know how easy this map is, and obviously the spawn room is really big, so it's easy as well. Next off, we have Voyage of Despair. Now, Voyage of Despair is actually a very good spawn room. When I was researching it and playing it, I actually realised how good it was. There's loads of space. You have the Strife and the Essex model. The Strife is very good, the Essex model is not too good. You have two, obviously, quick revives, just you automatically get them if you're in solos. But the one downfall to this is there's loads of boss zombies. You have the shovel zombies, you have the Blight Fathers, and all the Catalyst zombies, which are quite annoying, but I think you can handle them. And there is a perk in the spawn, but I'm not going to really count it because it can be a different perk for anybody. Next up, we have Ascension. Now, with Ascension, you've got a lot of training space. You have the quick revive, you have the M14 and the Olympia. And what I wrote down in my notes here is huge spinning thing in the middle. That can kill out a lot of zombies. So when it's spinning, you sort of slide under it, get all the zombies to it, and it's going to kill them without you using ammo, which is quite effective. The one downfall is the monkeys. I mean, they're not too much of a downfall, and if you don't get hit, I'm pretty sure you do get a perk as well, which is a bonus. I seriously can't believe I'm about to say this, but next up we have Kino Der Toten. This map has so much space. You have pretty much unlimited snowballs, which is just unlimited damage. The water can freeze the zombies, and you already have 2 lives. Also, from dogs, you do get max ammos, which is very overpowered as well. Lastly, we have IX, probably, if not the best spawn room, as I've ranked it. You get a free Pack-a-Punch Strife if you do your challenges, only in solo though, unfortunately. You have so much space, and the only real downfall is the Blight Fathers and the fire. And that's not even that bad. It just breaks up the map, and if anything, it makes it easier to train. This spawn room was so overpowered, and I never understood why they added it. So if you enjoyed this slightly longer video, don't forget to go like, don't forget to go subscribe. If you do want to go see more ranking every sort of videos, put what in the comment section below what you want me to rank, and I'll be sure to do it. Sorry that I haven't actually uploaded in a while due to everything that has been happening in the world and everything, and this video being quite long. I decided to give it a bit of a break, and I will be back to uploading as normal. Thanks for watching, I'll see you later.